Hey, welcome back, everybody. And the question is the housing market shifting to be more for the buyers? In other words, is real estate a big hot mess? Let's find out. Okay, so there's a lot of information that's going on out there, and really at the end of the day, for our area, we need to dial this in. When we talk about our area, predominantly we're talking about only in Washington State and pretty much in, Pierce, King, Snohomish County. Other counties don't have as much of an impact, but still kind of play into it. So all of our numbers are residential, and we are in real time. We're not looking back 2 months ago, because listen, some of the numbers that are coming out, they're saying, hey, you know what? We're seeing a little bit of a slowdown here in July and June. Well, that was a good market, but July seems to be kind of slow. Well, okay. So consider the vacation trifecta. Real estate in July didn't pick up until after July 4th, and we've been hitting some pretty good numbers, all things considered. We are definitely bucking the trend for on the national level. More importantly, Seattle was voted number 3 as most affordable for remote workers. Who would have thought? Anyway, let's take a look at some of this right here. It says the housing market shifting to favor buyers. So Zillow did a report that a lot of folks are kind of hanging on and saying, hey, listen, man, we're seeing more inventory coming on market. We're seeing sales slow down. Hey, that's going to affect pricing. And in the next, Q3, Q4, I think that's going to have a big impact on things. And to a degree, it is. Okay, there's no bones about it. But let's keep everything in perspective, and let's roll through some of our numbers here. So as we take a look at the, that's the wrong thing here. Let's just bring this up here. There we go. All right. So when we take a look and we move into the news on what I'm talking about, we're seeing that some of the buyers, they're kind of holding off a little bit with mortgage applications because our rates have been going down and people are waiting to see what's going to happen. New home sales are posting small declines, not unexpected. And then, of course, par pricing, 6.86. And then at the bottom right, remember, you have really great information that is available for you. It's free. There's no cost. Whether it's one mortgage or up to 4 mortgages, you can compare them side by side. Watch the video. 5 questions to ask when getting quoted mortgage rates. Again, there's no marketing, there's no selling, but it's super important. In fact, one of the lenders that actually watched it emailed me and said, oh my gosh, that's a great video. Everybody should watch that. And I'm like, I know, right? So anyway, when we pop back here, let's take a look at what Freddie Mac is offering, which is 6.78 on their 7-day running average. And when we take a look at what's going on in the market, now the chart on the left actually is days or number of showings on a home before it goes pending. Funny enough, year over year, it's down 7.7%, basically 12 days. So when we take a look at what's coming on the market, and let's talk about when we say we have inventory that is coming up, we have sales that are starting to slow down, and which translates into solds. And sometimes they're saying, hey, these actually are directly attributable to a market slowdown, pricing adjustment, things like that. And to a degree, yes. However, we don't have enough inventory for that to happen yet. So let me blow that back up again. So as you can see, new listings over the 7-day running average, 1,237. But we have 1,042 that sold and 1,496 that went pended. Yes, pended. And what that means is we're actually seeing more homes going off market than are coming on market, except for on Fridays. Friday kind of skews our numbers a little bit. But the rest of the week, we're seeing more going off than coming on. Now, understand, you would say, well, George, how is that possible? You've got 12,000 listings today, and last year, 12,000 and change. Last year, you had 9,000 and change. So I'm like, I know, it's about time. But when we take a look at the big scheme of things, and we take a look at what actually happens, right? So when we come over here and let's take a look at what's happening with pricing, and then we're going to talk a little bit more of inventory. Now, here, when we talk about the average sold price and the average price that's on market, super important metric. This is in real time, okay? So when we come back here, we blow this up, you can see that the top line, which is the year over year, the average active home is 1,026,000. All right, that's fine. So the average sold price is $850,000, which is up $1,000 week over week. However, when we take a look at the same month in July, okay, week over week, we're actually down $13,000, which is interesting because the average sold price for July is actually up 10.8%, almost 11%. And even though it's down to 884,000, that was at 800 and what was it, 97,000. I believe is what it was last year, 800. Yeah, last week, where we saw that reduction in price that actually happened. Now, why is that important? That is super important because it allows us to understand what's going on. Do the numbers always go up and down? Of course they do. Now, we're going to be heading into our slower season. At about mid-August, things are going to start slowing down. You have kids getting back in school. You have last-minute vacations. You've got people wanting to, do different things, excuse me, before the snow flies. And that happens. And so about mid to late August, that slows down. And then it picks back up again almost October, late September, as people have adjusted. They've done their things. We've gotten through Labor Day weekend. And all of that has happened and totally seasonally normal. So everything that the media is talking about so far is seasonally normal. Let me show you. As we roll in, we take a look at our next chart. This is where we talk about the actual numbers of what's going on. So as you can see on the bottom here, pre-pandemic, July 2019, we had 28,529 homes in July. And right now we have 12,901. Let me roll this up. Look at this. So we still only have about half of the inventory where we were at pre-pandemic wise. Now, understand, that does not mean that, everything is, unicorns and rainbows. What I'm saying is that we are very close to a very balanced market. And you can see that by the number of homes going off market and the number of homes coming on market. We don't have a massive disparity. It's not like we have 1,000 homes coming on market and 5,000. That's pretty extreme. Let's say 2,000 going off market. We're not seeing that extreme. We did earlier where every home that came on market, 2 homes went off market. And we dropped that inventory down. In fact, we were down in the 3,000. We hit high 2s, but 3,000, 4,000 homes, which was horrifically low. Okay. Now we're at about our 2 months of inventory, and that is appearing to be the new norm of what a good market should be as far as balance. At least that's what we have seen over the last 10 years. Moving on. Now, when we come back here, we can see that inventory is up. Great. We can also see that our solds are up 1.1%. Great. That's year over year. Days on market, that's DOM. Days on market is 12 days, 7.7% less. Fabulous. Even when we take a look at the month of July, we're up 13% on solds and 11.6% on the pended homes year over year. Okay, so yes, we're seeing less sales, but we are still up over last year. We're still seeing growth. And in fact, there's a report out that says that year to date, or year over year, year to date, year over year, we're at 7.7% appreciation. Value-wise, we're higher than last year, which is a little higher than I expected. I expected it really to be closer to about 5.5. So that's about 2 points higher than expected, but the year's not done. Might see a little adjustment depending on what rates do. Rates have been heading in a downward trend as expected, as predicted, and will stay as such, I think, mostly through the end of the year. No, I don't think we're going to break into the 5%. I think we will hit that briefly next year, but not this year. I still think we will stay in the mid 6s and 7s. In fact, that's actually normal mortgage rates. That's where they should be. Anyway, moving on. All right. So when we take a look at our next slide here, and we talk about new construction, And why is new construction, especially on the one article that said, hey, we're seeing a slowdown in new construction. And in fact, you're seeing some pretty aggressive pricing, 4.875, with a 1-year buy down, you got 4.75. You have your summer sales event, all of those things happening because we're seeing a transition of more homes on market and people moving away from new construction. So new construction, they've got to offer some more incentives to bring people back because it's cheaper to buy a resale home and there are more options versus the 10% premium over, existing homes in a certain area. And you get more home when you buy a resale, meaning most of the time you get bigger lots and things like that. All right, moving on. We come back here. New construction, we take a look at, let me blow this one up for you. Again, average for sale and average sold. Average for sale, down just a tad bit, down to 994. Last year was $1,016,000. On solds year over year, we're down $4,000 over last week, down to $923,000. Now, when we take a look at the month of July, we're actually up. They're up just a couple of $1,000, 8.7%. And then the average list price, at $994, which again is consistent with everything that is going on. New construction is now a lesser percentage of the market. It normally should be at 11. It's about 11. It was up as high as 32%. That was way too high because our inventory was down so low. We've been adding more inventory to it. Builders are now, they're not as popular because there's other options to choose from. Again, we're just seeing a really good balance of market, not seeing it heavy to the buyers, not seeing it heavy to the sellers. Sellers make a mistake by listing too high, like the 900 price reductions. That's what happens. Now, if you keep that going and you say, hey, for the people that priced it right, their homes are going off market in under 12 days and actually 7 days on average. All right, let's move on. Let's come back to, you guessed it, the actual number of sold units. Now, we're down with new construction about 106 homes year over year. 43 of those happened in the month of July as far as being off of the number of sales, which is down, basically 7%. And the tough part for the builders right now is they are seeing that is their costs, their lumber costs came down a little bit, but their labor costs are still going up. And so they're struggling with keeping that balance. And so even though they're willing to offer incentives on the backside, okay, they can't really adjust price. They have to maintain plat integrity. It's just the bigger picture of things. Remember, month end, like right about now, is a good time. And hence, that's why you saw a number of those, the ads that you saw right there. When you see those ads, that's pretty motivational for a lot of folks because that's pretty inviting, all things considered. All right. So when we go from there, we will talk a little bit about, basically the foreclosures. What's going to happen with our foreclosures and where are we going to go with this, right? So when we move past this, we get into bank owned. Yes, we have 17 people on the wall of shame. Yes, we have more people there. And yes, that does skew the number of solds, number of actives. We're actually up only 16%, all things considered. 3.6% lower on sales, which technically is not the case. And I say that because the homes that are truly not REOs, are not foreclosed homes, are not bank-owned homes, are actual private sellers that their agents on the wall of shame have not corrected yet. And it skews the numbers. So what I can tell you is this. Our foreclosures, like we said a couple of weeks ago, are super, super, super low. Like super low. In fact, we're only 400, I think, some odd thousand, 430,000, to the year, which is amazingly low, all things considered. 2008, we had thousands upon thousands of foreclosures on the market. That is a true disparity. Now, we also do not have the shadow inventory that a lot of people are talking about because of our economy and because of where we're at and because we're also in the top 5 sweet spot across the United States. Number 3 for affordability for those who are working remote. All right. So with that, as we roll into this, Remember, one super important thing, smash that subscribe button. Share it with 2 people that you like and 1 person that you don't. It just helps us grow our channel. Hope you enjoyed the show. In the meantime, I will see you on the next video. You have yourself a beautiful day. Take care.